Well, hey there, everybody. It's me, Esther. Thank you for checking out this video. Today's topic is one that I love, and that is what is your higher self? Now, in spiritual growth and development circles, higher self is a term, a concept that is talked about a lot. But when I'm working one-on-one with clients, I find that sometimes they hear these terms, but they really don't understand what it's all about. We're going to clear that up today so that you know what is your higher self. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Bartkiw. I am a core belief therapist. Now, what does that mean? It's so much more involved than just core beliefs. I help you to turn within to discover, explore, and change any limiting belief systems, patterns, behaviors, concepts of reality that are holding you back from creating the life that you want. Sometimes we find entity attachments. Sometimes it's a past life carryover. Sometimes a part of you is stuck back in the past at 3 years old, 5 years old, 8 years old, 15 years old, and we need to find that part of you and lovingly grow it up to where you are now so that you have full support within to move forward. So that's the foundation of the work that I do. I'm also an intuitive reader. I do readings for people. I hold private sessions, workshops, and classes, and I have a pretty big presence on social media. You can find me everywhere. And really, my focus is to help you to live the life that you desire. All right? So higher self. Let's talk about higher self. Your higher self is your higher, wiser self. That part, that aspect about you that knows everything that there is to know about you. I like to call it's like the sum total of all of you, but it's your divine self, your pure self. So you are light, right? Just like, the sun shines and there's a beam of light coming down and you look at that light, that is light. You are light, birthed from source, whether you call it source or God or universe or singularity. You're birthed from light. You are light. When you go to the sea or a lake or a river, you see the light dancing on the water. I love that. Every time I see that, I'm like, ooh, that's me. I am light. But the light was slowed down to form mass, human form. So now I am a beautiful light being. You are a beautiful light being. And we're living this human physical experience. And so in our humanity, from the moment we are born, we begin to take on beliefs and thoughts and patterns and behaviors. Some of it we come up with on our own. A lot of it we received from outside influence, family, teachers, religion, culture, ethnicity, our countries, our communities, our friends. We also develop personality. And that's who we become as this light being in this physical form. And yes, that's who we are for this lifetime, but it's not really who we are. It's not our true self. Our true self is that pure source light being that was birthed from source. And that's our higher self, right? The higher self is that aspect of us that is that pure light, that still holds that pure divine connection to source, that knows everything about you from this lifetime, past lifetimes, parallel, future lifetimes, knows the desires of your heart, knows your heart aches, knows your vulnerabilities, knows what makes you strong. Your higher self wants to guide you, wants to help you, wants to answer your questions, wants to give you ideas and directive, encouragement and inspirations, and in times of need, just love and comfort. In fact, your higher self since the moment you were born in this physical life, has been sending you love and guidance. You may be aware of it, you may not be aware of it. But as you get to know your higher self, you tune into this beautiful source of support that you have while you're living here on planet Earth. And one of the greatest joys that I have is helping people to meet their higher self, whether it's for the first time or strengthening a connection that's already there, or just confirming, hey, is this my higher self I'm speaking with, or is it some other part, aspect of myself, something else going on? So I love connecting people with their higher self and getting them into the groove and the mode of communication. So one of the special processes that I offer is you channeling your own higher self and me guiding you through the process. I did this for years at the start of my journey working with people. That was over 18 years ago. And I brought it back last year and I said, okay, I'm going to run a limited time of this, and then in 1 year we're going to come back, we'll do it again. That time is now. So I would love to take you through a special process. This is one-on-one, you and I together. And I'm going to help you to meet your higher self and find out how they present to you, how they show up to you, how do they deliver inspiration and communication, what's their modes of communication, how the two of you can communicate together to establish a firm bond. You living this human life experience as light, living in conjunction with the true light that you are. Could you imagine what a winning team that is? Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. And that's the foundation of this process, is to establish that firm connection. But then I ask you in the process to bring to our session 10 to 12 questions that you would like your higher self to answer for you from their perspective, that perspective of divine connected to source. And you ask the questions and you receive the answers, and I'm guiding you through the process. So as an intuitive, as an energy reader, as a psychotherapist, as someone who channels very well on my own, I'm able to see and tune in. Are you getting the answers? Does this make sense? Are you tapping into the right information? Kind of just guiding, checking your work. That's a good term, checking your work along the way. And also, I'm going to help you to learn how to formulate your questions to get the most specific answers. Something I have found throughout the years, and I was like this at one time too, I had to learn it for myself, is that when we're asking our guidance for information, when we're doing our inner work, people do really surface inner work. They accept really surface answers to questions. And I believe we can really dive deep and get specific change, deep change in our inner work, and specific answers to your questions. So when people come to me for readings, yes, sometimes there's a little bit of teaching or understanding, but there's a lot of really specific, actionable information that comes through. And I want to teach you how to ask your questions so you can get specific information for yourself. So at the end of the 90 minutes of this process, you have established a bond with your higher self. Most people are blown away, like, oh my God, my higher self is so beautiful. She's so loving. She's so amazing. That's me. That's me. A lot of time people will start crying because it's such a profound experience. You'll know how to communicate with your higher self so that in the future, you don't need somebody like me to guide you. You don't need to go to someone for a reading. You will know how to communicate, ask your questions, get specific answers. affirm what you're receiving because you know how the higher self communicates with you. And it's really about empowerment and being your own healer and being your own guru. All right? So we want that. I want to empower you in that way. Also, something that I do in these sessions is that we're going to ask your higher self, as appropriate to your questions, if the higher self can do some kind of release work or healing work with you right there in the moment. And sometimes that is possible. If it is not possible, then we ask the question, okay, well, what needs to happen? What is it going to take to make that instant healing, that instant shift happen? And we'll get some information for you in that way. So this is a really exciting process. I'm bringing it back at a special pricing for a limited time offer. It wraps up on April 21st, end of day 2022. Some people have asked me to keep it as a regular offering. I am very much considering that, but it will be at a higher price because this is a special pricing. Okay, so if this is something you are interested, please click on the link below. There's more information there about the times of the sessions that are available, how to schedule your session, and then if you have any additional questions, please reach out to me and let me know. Who is this for? Anybody who wants to connect with their higher self and establish a stronger bond, whether you're brand new to higher self work, or you want to strengthen a bond, or maybe you're someone who is like, no, I communicate with my higher self all the time, but I welcome the opportunity to just lay back, close my eyes, receive the answers, and have somebody like you, Esther, just guiding me through the process. Okay? It's also for somebody who wants to get 10 to 12 questions answered, and maybe it's a spontaneous healing or release during the process. Okay? If that sounds like you, click on the link, read through the information, shoot me an email if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll watch for your sign up and we'll schedule your session as soon as possible. All right, everybody, your higher, wiser self, the sum of you that knows everything about you, wants to love you and shower you with guidance.